Hey guys, 3 days ago, VAINGLORY released sneak peeks and the splash art for the new hero they're going to be releasing in the new update 2.0. This hero's name is called Idris, and according to the lore of this hero that they released not long ago, this hero seems to have Egyptian origins. And let's just get into this hero and find out what abilities he has. It says in the description that Idris shifts through battle, piercing his targets with his spear and chakrams. When building weapon items, he excels at assassinating vulnerable targets at close range, while crystal items allow him to dance around the fight, keeping his distance. Whether building weapon, crystal, or a combination of the two, Idris brings extraordinary damage and agility to any fight. So it seems that Idris is going to be a very versatile hero, being able to play both crystal and weapon at the same time. And I think that he's going to be a very situational hero where you can change in between the game according to what your opponent is building. So let's just get on to see what are his abilities. So for his heroic perk, it's called the Divergent Paths. It says that Idris unlocks unique powers for either his melee or range paths upon attaining a certain amount of weapon with crystal power. For his melee heroic perk, it says that Idris' Shroud Step becomes an instantaneous blink. Passively, his melee attacks restore stamina and reduce the cooldowns of his Shroud Step and Shimmer Strikes abilities. For his range heroic perk, it says that Idris gains range basic attack, dealing crystal and weapon damage and applying on-hit effects, which means that if you build on the crystal path, you'll still be dealing some weapon damage, but you'll be dealing more of the crystal damage, which means that you have more melee damage when you're fighting with your opponent, which can be good if you're dealing one-on-one and you have to go range and your opponent is a melee. It says that instead of energy, Idris uses stamina to activate his abilities. Purchasing items with energy and energy regeneration increases his stamina and stamina regeneration. So Idris is going to be basically be like an Arden or Rona or Blackfeather where they use stamina instead of the original energy that is used by all other heroes. It's basically the yellow bar that you see under the health instead of the blue one. So it means that Idris is going to be able to sustain better without having to worry much about running out of stamina to use his abilities, unless his abilities use a large amount of stamina, which we have no idea about of it yet. So for his A ability, is called the Shroud Step. It says that Idris dashes in the target's direction, dealing amplified damage to the next target he attacks within seconds. If Idris has not taken damage within the last few seconds, Shroud Step grants a barrier. The availability of the barrier is displayed beneath his stamina meter. I'm not sure whether this barrier is going to be a health barrier or some other kind of barrier which is going to be introduced in update 2.0, but we have to wait for the update to come out before you know. So for his A ability, it says in the melee heroic perk that Idris' Shroud Step becomes an instantaneous blink. So instead of Idris jumping from one place to another, it's gonna be basically the same thing but without the duration of the animation, which means that he'll be able to move from one place to another at a faster speed, which is very good compared to if you think about Vox, Rona. All these heroes require some time to travel from one place to another when they use their skill. Maybe a second or less than a second, but without that duration, it can be a lot more daily. For Idris' B ability is called the Chakram. A Chakram is basically a shuriken-like object that is thrown at enemies during a fight. I know this because I have heard of it from my past experiences in other games. So for the B ability, it says that Idris throws a Chakram that returns to him, damaging enemies each time it passes over them. Hitting enemy heroes, miners, or Kraken recovers his stamina. Idris can use his Shroud Step and Shimmer Strike abilities to avoid catching returning Chakrams, giving him additional opportunities to strike enemies. So this is basically going to be like a cruise ultimate where the sword is thrown and returns. Just that this Chakram doesn't stun anybody, which makes him, which makes him quite good in the fight because it's basically an AoE damage ability. This ability also has a chance of allowing him to recover his stamina that he uses with the support of the other two abilities. So basically, if I'm in a fight and I'm facing 3 enemies, if I use this ability, there might be a chance where I can hit all 3 of them and regain the amount of stamina that I have used for this ability, which can be very good if the other abilities require a large amount of stamina to use. For his ultimate, it's called the Shimmer Strike. It says that Idris latches on to the target hero, becoming invulnerable, then leaps off in the chosen direction, damaging surrounding enemies. The distance Idris leaps in is increased in his crystal path. So this is basically, in my opinion, like an Ozo's jump ability. But for Idris's case, when he doesn't jump to the first target hero, he latches on. That means he sticks to the target hero that he chooses, and he cannot be damaged when he's latched onto the target hero. And he can then choose to leap off in the chosen direction, and if he's near a certain enemy, he can use his ultimate is gonna do AoE damage to the surrounding enemy minions or other opponent characters. So his ultimate heavily depends on crystal power because it says that his leap distance is increased if he has more crystal power. That means if he goes in the crystal path, he's gonna be able to jump a lot further than compared to when he's building on a weapon path. So in my opinion, Idris is a very situational hero. He's very he's very versatile. But what we can do now is to think about how he's gonna work in the game, how he's gonna change the meta if he really comes out. But we do have to wait for the update to come out and the hero to come out live for us to really understand what this hero really can do and how he's really gonna change the game or affect the meta, the current meta. So thank you guys for watching this video. Also, there's a law that I said earlier that they have released a law, so if you're interested, do go to their website to check it out. And if you haven't subscribed, do click that big red subscribe button. If you have any feedback for me, do leave it in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time.